How's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's stick mobility class. I am Coach Ray. Thank you for joining me. So for today's class, I have 2 long sticks and I have 1 kettlebell here. Now we are going to use the kettlebell for windmills, that we are going to use the stick to help us kind of drill and keep the arm straight as well as keep the spine stable. We are also going to be using the kettlebell for a Romanian deadlift where we are driving the sticks back into the wall. And then we are also going to finish off with a standing core drill. We're going to do the plank here, okay? So we are going to first start off with warming up the spine, get the hips a little ready, also get the shoulders a little bit ready, okay? So we're going to need 2 long sticks here, or 2 sticks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to the side. I want to get into a little bit of a double monkey hang, and I'm just going to use this as a way to stretch out the shoulder girdles, okay? And so I'm going to have my right foot forward, left foot back, and you can always adjust how far your split is, okay? So from here, with my hands up top of the sticks, I'm going to slowly lower myself down into the hole. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to go back into it again. And remember, you can always change the distance between your feet. Deep breath in. Get a good hand in. Off. Now we're going to switch sides here, okay? I'll kind of go a little bit of a diagonal position. So we're going to go left foot forward, right foot back, okay? Again, we're just trying to get those tissues to stretch out here. Make sure you drop that back knee down. Ease off. Let's go one more time. Go ahead and ease off. Excellent. Good. So now we're going to place down 1 stick, okay? And now we're going to get into ninja flow, okay? So I want to have my feet, we're also going to go as wide as whatever's comfortable for you, all right? So have the stick in the right hand on the inside of the foot here, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to add a push-pull, okay? So we're lengthening the stick and shortening the stick just to get some more activation here, okay? And so with the right stick on the inside of my right foot, I'm going to have my hand at roughly about face height. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly press the stick into the ground, about roughly 20% tension. And then I'm going to hinge back, okay? And I want my arm to come out to the side here, and I want to get a good hang. I want to get the chest and the shoulder and that arm line to kind of open up a little bit, okay? So we are going to do something a little different here with this. So first thing I'm going to do, keeping my left hand off the stick, I'm going to lunge to my left, push off that right foot, come back up, go again, back up, let's go one more time, push, excellent, back up, slowly come up, switch sides. We are going to come back to that right side. That's where we'll have the other hand on the stick here. Left hand about face height, okay? Keep that split about the same. Lightly drive the stick into the floor, 20% tension. Just go ahead and hinge back. Stick comes out to the side. And just hang. Feel the chest, shoulders, bicep open up a bit. Gonna lunge over to my right. Good, back up. Go again. Good. One more time. Excellent. Back to the center. Come up. Ease off. Switch back over to the right side. Now we're going to use the left hand, reach across, grab the bottom of the stick. So from here, drive the stick down, nice and light. Hinge back. Place your left hand on a stick, thumb facing down towards the floor. Pull the stick apart, get a little bit more rotation. Push off that right foot, get that lunge going. Now try to compress the stick. Pull apart. Back to center. Let go with the left hand. Still keep that hang going. Okay? Place that left hand back on the stick. Pull apart. Lunge to your left. Push off that right foot. Compress the stick. Try to shorten it. Pull apart. Back up. Let go with the left hand. Slowly come up. Ease off. Now we're going to switch sides. So the good thing about doing that push-pull, we're adding tension on the anterior and the posterior tissues as we do that there. Okay? So left hand's at face height. Drive the stick down. Okay? Hinge. We're going to keep the stick to the side. We're going to bring the right hand across, thumb facing down towards the floor. Pull the stick apart. Lunge to your right. Good. Compress the stick. Pull apart. Good. Back up. Let go with the right hand. Get that hang still. Control your breathing. Reach your right hand across, thumb facing down. Pull apart. Lunge to your right. Compress. Good. Pull apart. Back to center. Let go of the stick with your right hand. Slowly come up. Ease off. Wiggle those feet in. Perfect. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to stretch out some of those lateral lines, and we're going to get into the bow and arrow. We're going to work in and out of the bow and arrow here. Okay. So we're not going to hold for long. It's just going to be for about a second. Now, the main objective is to, again, kind of work into those lateral tissues and get them to contract a bit. So, at least on this left side. So, stick's going to be in my left hand. Feet are going to be about roughly shoulder width apart. Okay, or hip to shoulder width apart. Toes are pointed forward. The stick, I'm going to have the stick for me about roughly 6 inches from the outside of my midfoot here. Okay, left hand is roughly about hip level. Okay, I'm going to take my right hand, go up over the top, thumb face down towards the floor. Okay, and then I'm going to drive the stick out, come back in. Okay, do that again. Drive the hips away, stick out, extend both hands, back in. Let's go 3 more. Drive the hips away, extend out, 3, back in. Let's go 2 more. Hips out, extend, 4, 1 more time. Hips out, extend, and 5. Ease off. And now we're going to switch sides. So we're going to set up in that same position on the opposite side. Sticks in my right hand. Take my left hand, reach up over the top, thumb facing down towards the floor. First thing, drive hips away. Stand up and go. 1. Back in. Extend the hips. 2. 1. Drive hips away. Extend the back. 3. Good. 2 more. Hips away. Extend. 4. Last one. Extend hips away. Extend. 5. In and ease off. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to do here, we're going to do some kayaking. We're going to stop at certain ranges to add a push-pull. Okay, so we work on the anterior and posterior parts of the shoulder. So I'm going to take my hands, place them out as wide as I comfortably can. Okay, from here, take about a shoulder width stance. I'm going to bend my knees a bit so I get into that horse stance, squeeze my glutes. Start with my right hand up. What I'm gonna do from here, I'm gonna start to slowly kayak. So I'm gonna drive that right hand forward and through, left shoulder, then switch. Good. Remember, your speed should be matching mine, okay? Now, when I say so, I'm gonna have you stop, push, pull, and I'll call it on my cadence. Now here, we're just gonna get the shoulder blades warmed up and moving around, getting line along that rib cage. You'll find that we will need this later. Good. All right, stop here, compress, so shorten the stick. Good, about 20%, pull apart. Good, ease off that tension, go through, right hand comes up and over, stop, compress the stick. Good, pull apart. Good, ease off. Left hand comes up and over. Right hand comes up, compress the stick. Pull apart. Ease off. Right hand comes through. Left comes up. Stop, compress the stick. Pull apart. Exhale, ease off. Keep kayaking. Good. Stop. Compress the stick. Pull apart. Ease off. Bring that right shoulder through. Pull apart. Good. And relax. Okay, good, perfect. Now we're gonna get into the hips a little bit. Since we are going to be doing some single leg RDL, what we're going to do here is we're going to focus on stepping into a hamstring stretch and kind of do it in a somewhat dynamic way. Okay, so we're not actually moving forward and back, but instead we're going to keep switching sides as we do this here. Okay, so what I want to do here, I want to have the sticks about roughly a foot or so in front of the line of my toes. I want my elbows, or sorry, my hands to be at level with my elbows here. Now what I'm going to do from this position, lightly drive the sticks into the floor, about 15 to 20% tension. Okay. I'm going to take my right foot, place my heel right in front of my left foot, keep my ankle dorsiflexed. I'm going to drive my hips back, reach out. I'm going to come back up, bring my right foot back. Now switch, left foot goes out, dorsiflex that ankle, hips go back, keeping a slight bend on that forward leg. Bring the left foot back, switch, right foot, dorsiflexed. Good, back up, right foot comes back, left foot out, dorsiflex. Good. Come back up. Right foot. Back up. Now left foot. Back up. Ease off. Good. Okay. I'm going to place one stick down again. Okay. So I'm going to take the stick, I'm going to place it behind my mid back here. Okay. Now positioning here is going to be a little tricky, but what I want to do is this is going to be a setup for the windmill. So I'm going to have my right foot pointed forward, and I'm actually going to angle my left leg out or externally rotate that left hip. Okay. Now what I'm going to do from here is I want to take this end of the stick, the left end of the stick, and want to place it on the inside of my left foot. However, I need to drive my hip out to the right to do so. Okay. So from here, what I'm going to do, I want to keep my right leg straight. okay? Make sure your feet are active, grab the ground with your toes. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to drive my right hip out, and I'm going to keep pushing hip out, and I'm reaching down with my left hand, okay? And I wanna keep my spine as in a stable position as I possibly can. Now from here, I'm going to pull the stick apart, so pull apart, about 20% tension, feel those posterior tissues light up. Good, compress the stick. Pull the stick apart. Should feel the scapulas working. Good, compress the stick. Ease off, slowly come out and up. Now we're gonna switch sides. I'm gonna turn my left foot forward. I'm gonna angle my right hip out, okay? Make sure that hip is externally rotated. You don't want your knee to buckle in like so, okay? So, right foot is externally rotated, okay? Remember, keep that left leg straight, feet active, okay? Drive that left hip out to the left. Bring the stick on the inside here. So we're gonna do that same thing, pull apart. Those posterior tissues get active. Compress the stick. Pull apart. Compress. Pull apart. Good, ease off. Come back up and relax. Now this is where we get into the fun stuff. So now we're gonna get into that windmill. So I have a kettlebell here. I'm gonna move this stick so it's out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna place the stick on a bench. So as usual, make sure that you pick the kettlebell up safety. So I'm gonna use two hands to help assist me up. So I'm gonna start on my left side first, okay? So left hand comes on the kettlebell, right hand comes under, okay? Now I'm gonna bring it up to my shoulder into a front rack position. Now I'm gonna grab the stick. So I wanna anchor the stick into the corner here, keep it stable. Now I'm gonna have my right foot pointed out directly to the side, and I want my left foot to be angled out. So kind of set up in the same position as I was earlier. Now I'm gonna have my right hand right in front of my right leg here, okay, right in front of my quad here. So I'm gonna drive the kettlebell up into a forward position. I'm gonna drive the stick into the corner of the wall. What I'm gonna do from here, keep it both arms straight. I'm going to drive my left hip out. I'm going to keep it as vertical as possible. Then I'm going to come back up, nice and slow, to an overhead position. Okay, going to go again. Rotate into it a bit. Drive that left hip out. 2. Let's go 2 more. Drive one step back. 3. Let's go 1 more. That's it. That's 4. Excellent. Bring the kettlebell down, okay? Now we're gonna switch sides, okay? So let's pick that kettlebell up the same way. Now, switch. We're going to switch. So, we're going to set up the same way. My left hand's in front of the left leg here. Okay. Right hand press out. Try to make sure you're in a good stable position. Keep those feet active. Okay. Now from here, drive the stick into the wall. Hand you down. Drive that right hip out. Good. Up. Good. Keep driving that stick back. Up. Drive the stick back. Keep pushing. Keep that stability going. Up. One more time. And up. Bring the kettlebell back down and ease off. Take a second here. So, with that drill in particular, you are rotating a bit, okay? You are driving hips out. The main thing is as you're driving hips out, we're actually creating a lot of hinging in that position. So, it's a really good way not only to work on hinging, but also stability of the shoulder, scapula, and getting that whole region here, okay? Now we're gonna switch into single leg RDL. So, I'm gonna start with the kettlebell in my left hand. The stick's gonna be in my right hand, and it's gonna be angled out. Now, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna walk through the drill real quick, is have the kettlebell in my left hand. I'm going to actually be grounded on my left foot, and I'm gonna go into that single leg RDL. At the top, I wanna bring that right knee up, okay? Still driving that stick back. So we're not only going into getting some hip extension and hip hinging, but we're also gonna get some hip flexion as well, okay? So, safely pick up the kettlebell. So keep your left foot active here, okay? Drive the stick back, about 50 to 60% tension. Gonna hover that right foot, okay? Drive that right heel back. Kettlebell comes straight down. Make sure you're driving your hips back. Come up. Squeeze the left glute. Bring that right knee up. Then go back into it again. So drive that right heel back. Hold. Come back up. Squeeze that left glute. Right knee up. Good. Again. Nice and slow. Keep it controlled. Try to keep that right hip down towards the floor. Come up. Squeeze that left glute. Right knee up. Let's go 2 more. Hinge. Nice and slow. Hold. Up. Squeeze that left glute. Let's go 1 more time. Nice and slow. Keep it controlled. Up. Squeeze that left glute. And ease off. Take a second. I'm going to place the kettlebell down. Okay. We're going to switch over to the other side. Now, the main thing is, if you feel like you're getting a little off balance, really try to grab that ground with your feet a little bit more. The more active your foot is, typically the more stable your ankles are going to be. So, I'm going to go pick up the kettlebell safely, one hand, okay? Set up in the same position. So now right foot's going to be grounded. Drive the stick back 50-60% tension, hover that left foot. Going to hinge. Nice and slow, controlled. Up. Squeeze the right glute. Left knee up. Good. Hinge. Up. Squeeze the right glute. There's 2. So 3 more. Hinge. Try that left foot back. Squeeze the glute. Come up. 3. Got 2 more. Hinge. Up. 4. Excellent. 1 more time. Drive that left heel back. Up. Squeeze that glute. And down. Oops, lost balance there. Ease off. Excellent. Let's take a second here. I'm going to move the kettlebell over to the side. Now we're going to do our standing core drill. Okay? Sorry, take a second. So I'm gonna take my other stick. It's gonna be a 2-stick drill here, okay? Now, what we're going for is we're gonna do some rotation here, okay? So we're gonna do a standing plank, but we are gonna add in rotation as we go along here. And the stance may be a little bit different in terms of once we start adding in a rotation, because we have to account for where the sticks are gonna be as we rotate. But the hips are always gonna be face forward here, okay? Hips are always square. So I wanna have about roughly a shoulder width stance. Both sticks are gonna be angled in towards my toes. Okay, I wanna have them a couple inches in front of the line of my big toe here. Hands are gonna be roughly about shoulder height. Okay, rib cage down. Now what I wanna do from here is I wanna first just do a regular plank. So I'm gonna drive the sticks down into the floor 70%. Arms straight, shoulders down, ribs down to hips. Squeeze the glutes and lock the knees. And drive the sticks into the ground, 70%. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Okay, let's go one more time. Then we're adding in the rotations after that. Arms straight, shoulders down, lock the knees, squeeze the glutes, and push. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent. Now we're gonna get into the rotation. So I'm gonna start off by only rotating to my left, and then we'll switch sides. And so as we rotate here, again, the sticks are gonna end up in a little bit of a different place. So we're gonna have to adjust our hands and where the sticks are to make sure we can get there. So I'm gonna keep my feet roughly about shoulder width, okay? I'm gonna bring the right stick to roughly about an inch or so on the inside of the line of my foot. And a left stick, I actually want to keep pretty much right in front of my big toe. Now, I'm going to bring my right and left hand up a little bit, because what I want to do is as I rotate, I want to make sure that my hands are still up tall, right? So from here, we're going to do those same things. I'm going to drive both sticks down, 70%, and I'm going to rotate both hands and my shoulders to the left. I'm going to come back forward, keeping that tension of driving the sticks into the floor. Rotate to the left again. Keep those hips forward. Good. Bring both sticks back forward. Let's go one more time. Rotate to the left. Good. Back forward. And ease off. Whew. Good. You should be feeling your obliques light up here, okay? So left stick goes on about an inch or so in front of the inside of the left foot. Right stick goes to right about where it was before. Okay, we're gonna do that same thing. Okay, so drive both sticks down. Good, 70%. Rotate to the right. Good, come back forward. Excellent, keep those hips forward. Rotate to the right. Back forward. Excellent, one more time. Rotate to the right. Back forward. And ease off. Whew. Whew. That is a good one. Awesome. All right, so now we're going to get into the deep fascial stretching. So we're first going to start off with stretching out the chest, shoulders, and then we're going to get into the human flag. So, or flag sail, I should say. So from here, I'm going to have my feet roughly about hip to shoulder width apart, toes are pointed forward. I'm going to have bottoms on the sticks on the outside of both feet, roughly about in line with my toes here. So, and you can always adjust for this too. So I'm going to have my hands roughly about face height. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hinge back and I'm going to hang into it. So I'm going to drive my hips back. I want the sticks to come to the side. I don't want them over my head. Come to the side. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back up. Excellent. Let's go again. Okay. Hinge. Get a good hang going. So you're doing to bend your knees into it a bit. Feel the chest open up, the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Back up. One more time. Okay. Hands out to the side. Three, 2, 1. Back up. Excellent. Good. Now I'm going to take my feet out wide. And it's going to be as wide as whatever's comfortable for you. And so for this, I do want my toes to be angled out a little bit in particular so I can get a little bit more of a glute contraction as I go into the flag sail here. So I'm going to have the both sticks on the insides of the ball of my toes on ball of my foot. Okay. I'm going to have my hands roughly about forehead height. Okay. But again, the hand position is always going to depend on you, height and comfort. Okay. So from here, what we're going to do, first thing, I'm going to drive both sticks down about 15% tension. I'm going to hinge my hips back. Now from here, I'm going to squeeze my glutes, bring my hips forward, hands come behind. Good. Come back up. And then I'm going to hinge again. Driving my hips back, reaching out with my arms. Squeeze the glutes. Reach back. So driving the sticks into the floor lightly. Come back up. Hinge one more time. Squeeze the glutes. Hips forward. Good. Back to center. And ease off. Okay. Perfect. Now I'm going to take the sticks. I'm going to angle them forward. Well, the bottoms of the sticks should be out pretty far. Now I just want to get into those adductors and hamstrings a little bit. So I'm going to take a wide stance. Okay. You can have your toes angled out, or you can have them angled straight forward. Really depends on what's most comfortable for the hips. So from here, sticks are angled out really far in front here. Okay. And I just want to guide my hand down the sticks as I drive my hips back. So the sticks are effectively kind of like a guide rail. Okay. So hands on top of the sticks. Sticks are on my shoulders here. And I'm going to slightly bend the knees, drive my hips back, reaching down towards the bottoms of the sticks. Now we're going to get the hamstrings quite a bit here. Okay. Also the adductors. So I'm going to shift my hips forward and shift my hips back. Good. Shift hips forward and then shift my hips back again. One more time. Shift the hips forward. Kind of ease off some of that tension here. Now shift hips back. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back up. Wiggle those feet in. Excellent. Okay. I'm going to place one stick down. We're now going to get into the snake and reach. Okay. So I'm going to have my right knee down, and I'm going to have the stick in my right hand for now, but I want to have my right hand up over the top with my thumb facing down. And I just want to have it clearing right above my head here. Now, the left foot, the best way I find to do this, wiggle your foot out wide so it's easier for you to get in position initially, okay? My top of my right foot is into the floor, so I'm extending that ankle, okay? So I'm gonna place a stick on the inside of my mid-thigh of my left leg, okay? And what I'm gonna do from here, I'm going to reach through with the left, snake my shoulder through, okay? And I wanna get the stick under the scapula. I'm gonna slowly bring my right hand up and wrap it around like so. And this might be a stretch for most people. If you're getting a stretch in the rib cage and the chest and the shoulder, you can stay here. If you want to increase that stretch, what we can do is we can bring the stick closer to the center line. And after I do that, I'm going to wiggle my left foot in a little closer. Now from here, should be engaged in a nice stretch in the chest and shoulders. It shouldn't be a 10 out of 10. It should be more like a 6 out of 10, right? Now what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to rotate side to side. So I'm going to rotate my shoulders to my left, get an increased stretch. Now I'm going to rotate my shoulders to my right. Going to decrease that stretch a little bit. Good. Rotate to the left. Rotate to the right. Come back to center. I'm going to bring the bottom of the stick across to my left side. Walk my left hand down, bring my left shoulder back and through. Now we're going to switch sides. Now, we're going to do that same thing on this side here. Okay. Take the stick, place it on the inside of the mid thigh of the right leg. Left hand up, thumb facing down towards the floor. Okay. Snake right shoulder through. Make sure the stick is under the scapula, okay? Walk that left hand up if you can. Remember, one side's gonna feel a little tighter than the other, that's okay. So again, if this is a stretch, hold here. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, bring the bottom of the stick across that center line. Good. Now from here, rotate the shoulders to the right. Breathe, now to the left. Rotate the shoulders to the right. Good, rotate the shoulders to the left. Back to center. Bring the bottom of the stick in. Walk that left hand down. Nice and slow. Good, ease off. Perfect. Okay, now what we're going to do here, we're just going to finish off with a single arm hang, add in a little bit of rotation, just stretch out some of those lateral tissues here, okay? So we are going to go with a two-handed hang. So I'm going to have my right foot back, left foot's going to be forward, and actually I'll face forward for this. And I want the stick to be angled out pretty far from my right hip, okay? This is just so I can drop my hip down towards the bottom of the stick and really get deep into those lateral tissues here. Now, I want to have my left foot forward, right foot back. And also I'm going to transition into flagging my right foot out and across, okay? Sorry, I have my hands a little sweaty. So, have my right hand up, okay? And what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to place my left hand on the stick and I'm going to drop into the stretch. And then I'm going to shift my right hip down towards the bottom of the stick. Good, I'm going to come back to center and come up and out. Good. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go back into it. This time I'm going to flag my right foot across my center line, so behind my left leg. So I'm going to go here, right hand is up, drop that hip down towards the floor, towards the bottom of the stick. Good. Ease off. Come up. And we're going to switch sides. Okay. So, going to have my right foot forward, left foot back. We're going to do that same thing on this side here. Okay. Left hand's up, right hand's on the stick. Good. Gonna slowly drop into it. Drop that right hip down. You might actually notice you're getting a stretch on the front of the hip too. That's okay. Right, we are getting that hip, that left hip back into extension. Back to center. Come up. Awesome. Now we're gonna flag that left foot across the right. Okay. Bring the left foot out. Drop into it. 3, 2, 1. Back up. Ease off. And that concludes today's stick mobility class. Thank you again for joining me for the class today, everybody. Hope everybody had a good time. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good day.